when you look at this young team that you have, what are a couple of things that you feel like you're trying to implement that really trying to force home in this group?
Yeah, we've kind of narrowed down some habits that we talk about daily. The first one is just to play at as hard as you can. That's one of our standards. Play hard, but these guys are professionals, so that should be a given, and they've done an excellent job with that. Doing that every night, coming up when we're coming up short in some games, and they're heartbroken, but they keep fighting, and I appreciate that. Just some basic basketball stuff, transition defense. That's one of them. I mean, we were really struggling early, getting back in transition defense. Our fouling, we've got to do a better job of that. We talked about that. Our turnovers got better in our last game. So that's another one. These are things that we can show them on video, but we don't have any practice time to go work on it. But, just sticking to some of our habits with this group that's 3.5 years is what our average is in this league, just the youngest.
Second row on the right there.
Hi, Jared is here from the Daily Mirror. And I was just curious to talk about how teams play, how young they are. Obviously, Caitlin is the star. All the eyes are on her. But when you see her and you see how she's meshing with the team, can you speak on that a little bit and how that's improving?
Yeah, we've got several great players on this team that are great for Caitlin to be able to have the opportunity to play with. One of them, Kelsey Mitchell, hadn't practiced with us yet in a team practice. Her first time to play with our team was in the Connecticut game, and we played every other day since then, so we've not had a practice. Those are two dynamic players, two dynamic scorers that need time together. Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa Smith, these are two post players that are playing at a faster pace now with what we've played in the past. And again, we don't have time yet to practice the chemistry and the timing. And so you see it getting better every game. It's just tough. Every other night you're playing a game, and when you're supposed to be working on these things is, in the practice gym, and we just haven't had that time yet.
So we go back row in the middle there.
Nikki.
Sorry. Nikki came with Ion. Coach, I spoke with Caitlin a little bit about the balance between being positive and focused on the goal, but also knowing there's a sense of urgency and knowing that, like you said, the intensity needs to be there every time, every play you have on the court. So how have you as a coach learned to try and communicate that balance with your team?
Yeah, it's, the thing you have to try to do is get these guys to show up every day and do what they've been doing. And that's, one thing that I can say, they have done that every day. They've taken some hard, tough loss, Connecticut at home, tough loss against Seattle. But they keep showing up, and that's all I keep trying to preach to them. And we've got to stay positive with these guys. They're learning. Caitlin's a rookie, and she's learning. She's learning these new players. Leah Boston, second-year player. The expectations from her, for her, she's trying to figure it out too and learn this new style of, that we're playing with. Aaliyah's played against the best players in the league, post players, the last few nights. They're Olympians. She's a second-year player, I think, because she was Rookie of the Year, had a great year. We forget about that.
Yeah. How do you, obviously losing does take a toll. How do you, get them to mentally just stay in it, practice little practice time, and then the game's coming so fast and furious?
I think we've got a great group of 12 that's in our locker room. I think it starts there. I think that, we preach culture and we talk character drives culture. And I've got 12 players in that locker room who are of unbelievable character. And to me, they just want to win and figure it out. And we're all on this journey together. And they helped me along the way as well, just continuing to stay positive, continuing to keep saying, this is a process for us. I mean, we started this journey last year with a very young team. Now we're in our second year. The expectations from the outside are unbelievable for this young group. So just trying to keep everything in perspective, control what we can control is what I've just tried to do.
Mark in the second row.
team sports kid on that note, even though it's early, what sort of leadership qualities shows?
I think the quality and it's part of when we spoke about her role on this team. She has a competitive spirit, a fire that like I want her to infuse in everyone. And we have competitors, but she just goes into a zone. I've coached Diana Taurasi for several years overseas, and seeing that up close and up firsthand, like she does the same thing, and she kind of has that same, when it's time to play, like she just goes into a different mode. And just for her to do that and not let these hits, she's got to keep moving forward, keep figuring out, her teammates, make that timing with her teammates, and that's coming. I mean, you see it get better every single day.
Bill, from her end.
Bill, last year, Los Angeles Times. Is the scrutiny too much on Caitlin? Is the pressure too much? Is it fair?
She is handling it unbelievable. Like the way she's handling the questions that are asked of her every single day, the same ones over and over. She's just handling it with such poise. She shows a level of maturity for a 22-year-old that's unbelievable. Is the pressure too much? She's special and she's different. But I will say that like the expectations for her and our team with where we are, that's really hard to keep in house when it's just coming at us. The bullets are just coming. Every day, every time, every game that it's a close game, we're scrutinized for everything, and that's okay. Like I wish I want to take all of it, and that I would love to be able to find a way to take some off of these guys. I mean, they're working. This is what they do. They come to work every day, and they're trying to get better. And people want it to happen now, and that's just not how it works.
Follow up on that. All the scrutiny, what is that like for you? I imagine like this is more scrutiny than you've experienced, right?
Oh yeah, I was walking here talking with these guys, and I've been in this league a lot of years, and this is something that this is all new for us. All that's I've never sat in a media room with this many people, and this is sellout games and full house medias every post game, pre-game, shoot around. It's great, and it's great for our league, and it just takes some time for all of us to kind of get used to this new way of things, and it's great, and we're embracing it. We're just trying to figure out how to keep it all in perspective.
All right, 3 more, right here.
Hi. Obviously to start the season, you started with some very established opponents. And your team, perhaps more than any other, with back-to-back overall picks, embodies the next generation of this league, but the Sparks as well also have many rookies and second-year players. Does this game stand out as kind of the first of your young season that illustrates this team's movement in the league that you participated in?
Yeah, I'll go back to what you said about our first few games. Like that, I referenced our 3.5 years of experience compared to a Connecticut, which is 7.5 years, and New York, which is I think at 6. So that's a huge, difference in experience, veteran leadership that's helping these young players. For us tonight, LA is they do have a lot of rookies, but they also have some established vets that especially have the ball in their hands a lot, with Brown and, they have some people who have the ball in their hands that have some years under their belt as it relates to compared to us, right? With Caitlin being our point guard now. But it's the most important game because it's the next one on our schedule, not because of who they are or what they have. Like for us, the Indiana Fever, tonight is about us it's our next game on our schedule. It's the next one we have to be prepared for. And we're going to go out and give it, what we can and try to come away with a win.
Coach Johnny Mix from Southern California, here in Los Angeles. I was just wondering if you could kind of pull back just a little bit and talk about the historic nature of this game. It's number 1 versus 2. The Sparks also have 4 picks. So I think 3 of the top 4 picks in the draft are going to be playing in this game. All of them are major contributors to their teams.
Yeah, I mean, the youth movement is incredible. Like, it's really fun. These guys have brought so much attention to our league. Watching them finish out their college careers, like how fun was that? I mean, we were able to sit back and watch these guys do things that haven't been done before, and now they're making a huge impact in our league. So it's going to be exciting to go out there and watch these young people play against each other and just see how much they've grown in their 3 games that they played into their 4th and us into our 6th.
That's 2 side by side on the right.
Coach, thanks so much. Can you talk a little bit about the tenacity and resilience that you mentioned? You do have top players, Caitlin, Kelsey Mitchell, and I think the group is so dynamic. And I think it really comes down to the tenacity, just getting there, as you said, 1 game at a time. Talk a little bit more about how that spirit is.
Yeah, we started out Connecticut on the road, one of the best defending teams in the league, toughest teams. We tried to explain to them what it was going to feel like. We know they're great players, but what it's actually going to feel like. Then New York again. We've tried to take wins from each of those games, to try to give them confidence and show them where we're getting better. And we have. I mean, we have gotten better every game. And that, for these guys to be so young and to try to figure it out on the fly, I couldn't be more proud of them for that. They need a taste of a win. And once they get that taste of that win, I think it's going to change everything.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Everybody,